Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today down here in the Bloom, where everything looks kind of disgusting, and there's a lot of interesting people around that we're gonna want to talk to. And last episode we were talking over here to Parsim Flint. He is a, no bits for this insidious thief? He says none at all. Insidious? What's he done? Stolen some bread? Well, perhaps he stole it from a child, he says. From a whole orphanage of children. Their last loaf. Yeah, he sells slaves. Wait, don't you know what his crime is, Flint? How do we even know he's suitable? Come on, Flint, give us give us one we can use. Well, perhaps you're right. On to our next slave then. Okay, so he doesn't actually know what these guys have. Just ignores the things. Oh boy. Anyway, we're talking to him, and there's the interesting things down here. Last episode we talked to the decanted over there. He wants to buy a slave, but this guy doesn't let him. Over here we talked to Kian as well. I think it was last episode or maybe the one before that. We also talked to Dracogen quite a few times. A serial offender. She's a rapist, a cannibal. Okay, so yeah, someone worthwhile, this guy. Yeah, basically they buy these guys because they're criminals. Let's continue talking to him. So, I spoke to a construct near the slave pit. It says you refuse to do business with it? What construct? Flint turns and peers towards the slave pit. Then his eyes narrow and his enormous mouth twists like a serpent. Oh, there is no mere construct, I assure you. It was once a creature of flesh and blood, like you and me, and it will be again, if it fills its quota. He lowers his voice. I presume you saw the withered head in the middle of its chest? Well, they say that those creatures are always on the prowl for young men and women of unusual beauty. When they acquire such people, they spirit them away, slice off their heads, and replace them with their own. A ghoulish practice, but it allows them to live as humans for a time. That is not the sort of business we do here. Oh, so that's what he meant by a life of good. Basically, he said, oh, we were gonna be a fit person and all that other stuff. But yeah, as I said, that's not necessarily a good goal, because if you don't have the rest of, you know, being free, having your own mind and all that sort of stuff, that's bad. Anyway, so what are you exactly, an auctioneer? Because that's what we saw him doing. Well, indeed not, sir. I am a public servant. My work is indispensable to the fair city of Sagas Cliffs. I help those unfortunate wretches. He gestures at the slave pit in the, slaves in the pit. Pay their debt to society, as it were. Yeah, so you're basically an auctioneer. Flint bristles, but he keeps smiling. As I said, I am a public servant, sir. If not for my work, the criminal elements of Sagas Cliffs would have no choice but to rot in prison or die by the axe, as in the days of our uncivilized ancestors. Yeah, he really thinks highly of himself. He was thinking before about, you know, the whole... the pain of, you know, just capital punishment for them. This is effectively capital punishment, as, you know, it's basically an exile. That's what it is, and they have a chance to die because they get eaten by moths. But they also have a chance to, I don't know, maybe they're probably, I don't know. Let's have a chat here with the decanted. That's the withered head over there. It doesn't actually look very much like it's probably a head of a lizard or something like that. I don't know. But maybe they are human, or they were human. The creature's voice remains flat and expressionless. Greetings. So Flint told me that you butcher your recruits. Is that true? The decanted emits a ragged sigh from its grill. Everywhere we travel, these slanders follow. Our subjects are treated well. Well, you butcher them well. Butcher them well. Well, from the famous mouths of, I don't actually remember who said that in Monty Python. Crucify them well. I think, oh yeah, it was the, it was the Caesar, I think. But that was basically the skit where they just, you know, they're being crucified. People are being crucified and it's, crucify him well, as if, you know, you can crucify somebody improperly, but you know, it might be what he's supposedly talking about. We gain nothing by abusing their bodies. Repeat, we treat them well. Well, yeah, you do gain nothing from abusing their bodies because they become your own. So he's not denying it. So yeah, when the moment comes for the replacement, we ensure that our specimens feel nothing. We sedate them during. See, it's what I did. It's what I said. Crucify them well. We sedate them during a moment of happiness, and using advanced techniques of which any surgeon would be proud, remove the extraneous head so that our clients might use the body into which we invested so much. It is no worse than feeding slaves to moths, as is the practice here. Fact, it is more humane. Actually, it's a death sentence. A more humane. death sentence, where the Maws are not necessarily a death sentence. They're more of an exile, because something else can happen, I think, but you're still ending their lives. Leave the bloom now, before I destroy you.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Oh boy. Oh, things are happening. I think it was just the level ups. The smooth plating of its armor clanks against itself as it flinches at your threat. We are peaceful beings, it squawks. Someday you will, static, accept truth of what we say, or the truth of what we say. We will not attempt to persuade you now. No destruction is necessary. We assure you of our peaceability. Farewell. And it backs away, holding its hands out in universal symbol of surrender. What is the universal symbol? Oh. Oh, that's so cool. That was really cool. The construct strikes its hand across the front of its armor, and a row of buttons extrudes from its synth shell. Its fingers dance rapidly upon these buttons, and you are momentarily blinded by a flash of light. When you can see again, it is gone, leaving no trace of its pretense. Well, it's gone. Can I get a reward or something, or it's just that the fact that these guys might get to leave rather than extend the other guys' lives? Anyway, no, I kind of wanted to tell you about the guy, but sure, I can't. Okay, well, let's continue exploring. We have a lot of things to see. We're actually, we can consider ourselves on the lookout for a medallion that guy is looking for, or a Nemalion, or whatever he calls it. But for right now, I don't think I have accepted that quest, and we have indeed leveled up. So let's look at my level ups. Yes, indeed. You are now tier 4. So let's see. Abilities. Yeah, probably abilities is the thing. Skills. Let's see what we have. So we got actual skills, where I could just... Cipher use would be an interesting thing, I suppose. But nothing really. What about abilities? We got Onslaught over there. Not really interested in that. And, yeah, we can... Sow Dismay or Sow Dismay. Let's go with the skills over here. And, see if I can bring something... up. So I think Erit is pretty good at intimidation already. No, he doesn't actually have that. No, yeah, that's him. Okay, so he's good at intimidation. He doesn't actually have the effort. But I think it would be good for me to go that way. But having healing myself would be a good thing as well. But experts level on healing ability. So it doesn't actually give me the ability, does it? Let's see. So do I have the ability? No, I don't. No, I do actually, the Innervate, there it is. Okay, so I can use, yeah, healing is gonna be a good thing, I suppose. So let's level you up, go with a skill, so healing right there, and Cipher use, Initiative, Endurance, Running, Stealth, Smashing Quick Fingers. I'm gonna go with Cipher use for right now, and because that's a flat increase, it's not, you know, it's not like a percentage increase, that's an actual thing that I want, because it allows me to have way more ciphers, oh my god. That is a lot of ciphers right there. Also, we got a few of these things. Kaleidoscopic Mirrorcaster. Wait a minute. We didn't use this? This small, heavy tube suggests heavier than its... we didn't... Is that the thing that we used? We'll try it next episode. Not right now. The Mirrorcaster that... what was her name? Adiris? Adiris, yeah, that she gave us. That might have been it. Okay, so I could go with extra effort or increased edge, and I think increased edge is gonna be good for her. I'm gonna get it over there on intellect.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about this.
Uh-huh, and so am I. Okay, let's continue. Let's have a chat with these exiles, see if they say anything. They probably don't. What's happening outside in the city? Who runs the council now? Well, hell if I know. I have never met those guys. I know where they are, but I just never met them. We got a Memovita thugs and all these guys that are of the Memovita. We're here to guard the merchandise. It's under the Memovita's seal. Don't get any clever ideas. No, I'm pretty dumb. Coruscating rings. Oh, that's a beautiful word right there. Word, I should say. Coruscating rings of blazing energy hover vertically just inches from the fortress wall, offering no clue as to their true function. So is this where the Memovita lives? The metal gates are firmly shut. They are blemished with age, but still strong. And more coruscating rings up there. Okay, we got Bloom Dwellers over here, and we have more Memovita thugs. What about this? Several crude shanties are wedged into a corner, fashioned from scraps of wood, cloth, and metal. Whoever built them was apparently not concerned with safety. And we got some of this stuff that we saw from upstairs. Waits for prey right there. Did I learn about that? Favored are those who prey upon their neighbors, says that guy, a Bloom cultist. Wait a minute. Are you... You worship the bloom itself? He doesn't say. The Great Sheila was the first, but the bloom chooses many prophets. Yeah, we've heard about the Great Sheila before. Wasn't she the... Anyway, a metal pylon, so polished it might be crystal, has been thrust into the bloom flesh at the junction of two armored neural axons. Whether the bulbous protrusion around it is an effect of this invasion or whether it was the reason for the insertion in the first place is impossible to judge. Like so much of the bloom, it oozes both mystery and mucus. I suppose it does. Let's examine the pillar. Or the pylon. The pylon appears to be the foundation of a dimensional anchor, but just the foundation, to be sure. It is in some ways the most difficult part of the to construct, but it is worthless without a variety of additional properly attuned Numenera. To finish the project would be a considerable undertaking, far more than you could hope to attempt. You notice that there's a deep sulcus in the bloom flesh where it meets the pylon. The sulcus is basically like a diggy thing, which is, it's sulcus. It's a sulcus. The talc filling the crevice makes it impossible to tell what, if anything, is inside. Oh yeah, I wanna go there. I wanna reach into there. But study the bloom flesh nodule and the neural sheets running outward from it first. Oh, lower natural. Did we? Oh, we got lower machinery right there. Fantastic. Judging from the ancillary organs that protrude from the nodule, it seems to be the organic equivalent of a regional control center. Not a true brain, but something more than a mere cluster of nerves. It's unclear whether it is part of some larger mind or a near sentient organism of its own. Okay, let's reach into it. You are forearm deep in warm mucousy talc when your fingers brush against something with a hard edge. Obviously not part of the bloom flesh, but also distinct from the pylon. Unfortunately, your touch has dislodged it, and it begins sinking deeper into the crevice. Oh no! Just try to grab it. Okay, we're gonna be able to do this, but whoever's got the best base chance, that's you. So that's 100% right there. Go for it. And she grabs in. With her tiny little fingers and arms as well, I suppose. A sunspot icon, what is that? It's a cipher. Opens a channel to the nearest celestial body, fires a blast that deals 28 energy damage, and confers blinded. That is a lot of damage. That's fantastic. Did I just get that? You plunge in deeper and catch hold of the metal object. With relief, you pull your arm and recover the cipher out from the mucousy sulcus. Okay, can I reach in again? Yes, you slide your arm back into the throbbing crevice. Deja vu washes over you. Oh, there's an old man rambling on about a thought experiment. It involves some kind of prehistoric rodent capable of telepathically linking its mind with others of its kind. Perhaps a forebear of the Saturn or something? The old man posits that if enough of these rodents gathered together, the sheer power of their conjoined desire would be enough to change reality. And for what world would these scavengers wish? He asks rhetorically. One where everything, even the very dirt, is men's detritus, yea? Yeah. Right. It seems that he intends to manipulate the Bloomstrand's dimensional nature to test his murine Dreamtime hypothesis. Such meddling, of course, cannot be tolerated, so as he natters on, you slip the sunspot totem into the sulcus. Oh, wait a minute, the totem that I got? What? Oh, no, that's the memory. What? I'm not really sure. It seems implausible that the Codger will ever complete his dimensional anchor, but now at least you can be sure that it will not interfere with your own plans in the bloom. Oh yeah, of course. That's the changing god right there. That's what I'm seeing. That's what anamnesis is. The memory fades. You pull your hand out of the mucus. I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing that. That's weird. It's a weird pronunciation. It's just mucus. It's a mu. Anyway, can I reach in again? Probably not gonna. Yeah, you accomplish nothing beyond covering your hand in a thick bloom mucus. Lovely. Okay, so now that we're well and thoroughly disgusting, let's continue looking around, and the cipher that I get is over there. That is pretty good. I got another one. It's just basically all I have, apart from this one, is, well, I have both two damage-dealing ciphers and one that is healing. This wagon is laden with basic supplies from outside of the bloom. And an anine. Oh, the anines! Oh, it looks like a... It reminds me a little bit of the, oh, it's got ends. Okay. It reminds me a little bit of the, what's the name of those things in Morrowind? You know what I'm talking about? The, Forgot the name of them. Sorry, I'm sorry. The Cagotes? Not the Cagotes, the other ones. The other ones, it's an Anine. And we got the waits for prey over there, and a bloom dweller over there. Is he gonna say anything about this guy? The construct here, I call it waits for prey, but it answers to no names at all. Okay, maybe I'm gonna be his prey. I wonder what he is. He's got some floating matter around him. It's like there's some vibration going around him that makes this weird thing, or... Let's have a chat with him. He does seem to be a construct rather than a person. A metal construct stands before you, silent and still. Its armor is pitted and ancient, spiked with metal thorns. Instead of arms, the construct has long killing blades, sharpened to a gleaming edge. At first, you aren't sure if the thing is still alive, but as you step closer, you can hear faint hisses and whirs from inside its armor. You sense a mind inside the machine. It is a mind so alien that although you can hear it, you cannot understand its thoughts. What are these bones and armor on the ground over there? The construct stirs and a voice emanates from somewhere in its depths. It has a hollow, empty sound, as if it speaks from a vast cavern on the ground. The triders of beasts and men. It is all that remains of those who sought to best me. What do you know of Dracogen? because that's a question. He is a predator of sorts, but subtler than most. I have observed him as one hunter watches another from afar, but I cannot fathom what he truly wants. What he seems, he is not all that he is. Do you mean that Dracogen isn't all that he seems? No. The hollow voice is sharper and somehow more dangerous. The words I spoke were exactly what I meant. Oh, this is bad. That's not nice. The game crashed. I'm still recording, but, So, back to the conversation. I wanted to see what he seems is not all that he is. So it means that he's not what he seems. Which is, yeah, basically, well, not necessarily. The thing is, it doesn't know, he's not saying much, but basically, do you mean that isn't all that he seems? He might not be even any of what he seems. Basically, you see that? What he seems, which is 1, is not the same as, you know, a total of unknown, which is all that he is. So it's like, there's no connection between the two. Anyway, why don't you challenge Dracogen to combat? The construct's head turns into Why are we so obsessed with Dracogen? I probably should have followed the orders, the order of the questions, but yeah. The construct's head turns in Dracogen's direction. Even though the gray-skinned man is not actually visible from here, obscured as he is by the crashed catena, you sense that the construct's eyes can see him plainly. For a long moment, you hear a series of whirring and humming sounds from inside the construct's head, as if the creature is considering your words. Then, at long last, it turns its head back to you. No, even I would not dare. The words are firm, with a note of finality. Even I would not dare. Is he that dangerous? Who are you? I am a soldier. A predator. My names are as numerous as the wars in which I have fought. My names, yeah. But those wars are finished now, and I have left my names behind. Oh, so basically, that's an interesting thing. That makes sense for that. Waits for praise, more like waits for a war, which, you know, maybe that's kind of connected, isn't it? But, yeah, it's interesting because people call him different names depending on where he is. Surely you'll remember some of your names. Some? I remember all my names. Exanarch Series 14, Genshero Mark 10, then I was bodyguard to Vostule Low. He called me his barber of flesh, and made me a boogeyman, feared and hated in every nation he conquered. The construct says nothing after that, but he hisses and whirs inside its armor make, but the hisses and whirs inside of its armor make a great deal of noise for what seems a long time. Is he thinking of those? Will you tell me some of your names again? Okay, he just goes on to say the same thing. Who created you? I do not know, nor have I ever known. They culled all record of themselves from our minds. I only remember those for whom I fought, and there have been many such masters over many long millennia of service. For a time, I believe, my siblings and I slept. I do not know for how long. Then we were awakened by new masters, the Tabat. We fought for them, until they were no more. You fought for the Tabat? What do you remember of them? Much. They ruled this land as warlords before the building of Sagas Cliffs. They were slaves to an edifice known as the Underspine, yet they were its masters as well. I do not know where they came from, or who they were before they rose to power, for those things happened before they awakened me. I remember this too. They held single combat as the highest virtue, revealing the quality of one's soul. They believed that we had powerful souls, my siblings and I, for none of them could defeat us alone. They fought on two-legged beasts, brandishing weapons of another age, unearthed from the great hordes beneath the ground. That is also where they found me and my siblings. They awakened us, spoke the proper words, so we killed on their command. And do you know what happened to them? To the Tabat? The construct's blade arms twitched convulsively. A vast explosion buried the Underspine and their city, and most of my siblings as well. The remaining Tabat were hunted and slain by those that they had ruled and enslaved, and I was left alone, save for a few of my kind. Oh, really? Oh. Okay, what are you doing here, though? Waiting. The word is hollow and cold, for those who are strong and feared, for the predators who walk the bloom. They come here at times to challenge me. If I prove myself to be a predator above all others, I believe that the bloom tongues will catch my scent. The clicks and hisses from inside the construct's armor suddenly go quiet. I wish to be devoured by the bloom. Have you not seen those who have passed through the gullet of the bloom? Every trace of who they were has been stripped from them. They are freed from the trappings of memory and self. Reborn. Well, it depends on... Well, yeah, the body is reborn, I guess, but... so, killing powerful predators makes you more appetizing to the bloom? So I believe. The construct is silent for a moment, as if considering. I have observed the patterns of its hunger over many feeding cycles. Always it is those who prey on others who draw the attention of bloom tongues. The greater the predator, the more powerful their victims, the more the bloom desires them. The construct's voice becomes less hollow, higher pitched and more grating. And I have killed many, so many. I have torn men and beasts asunder, left their bones and entrails to putrefy as an offering to the bloom tongues, and still it will not devour me. Why does it wait? I cannot know. But why do you crave for rebirth? How many years have I lived? Only a few, judging by the firmness of your flesh. In that time, what horrors have you witnessed, or prepared, or perpetrated? He asks. Do they slip into your mind in unguarded moments? Perhaps they do. Whatever horrors you have seen, multiply them by 1,000, 100,000, across a vast, grinding millennium of wars. Now imagine that you cannot forget, cannot even distract yourself with other memories. Do you know what I remember? Only those things that would make me a better killer. Every severed limb, every grout of heart's blood, every cruel execution before a cheering crowd. All else is lost, for that is how my creators fashioned my brain. That is why I crave rebirth and forgetfulness. Yeah, what you crave is death. That's what you crave, because that achieves the same purpose. You claim to be troubled by the violent things you've seen and done, but you're a killing machine. Why should those things bother you? A long moment passes before the construct speaks. I have pondered that question for all the years since I awoke in your world, and also during the long aeons of my sleep. For centuries I felt no such revulsion at the memories of my past, but over time, the horror grew in my mind, and in the minds of all my brethren. The construct pauses again, as if considering its next words. I have come to believe that our creators intended this. Perhaps they understood the terrors we could visit upon the world, and this was their way of ensuring that we would not endure forever. If our foes did not destroy us, then we would be driven to destroy ourselves. I haven't met anyone who's been eaten by the bloom and lived. Walk the innards of this city monster for long enough, and you will meet them. A series of lights flash in quick succession on one side of the construct's faceplate. Even now, I can taste the trans-dimensional footfalls of one such man. You may find him in the vast interior space beyond the arterial opening there, and he gestures with a one-bladed arm to its right. Once we possessed a name that was well known in this place, before it was stolen by another. Now he walks alone, forgotten, and without fear. Once he possessed a name that was well known. He's probably a cast-off then? Or maybe he's Mazov. Voxel, the mirror cast that we saw didn't actually tell us where Mazov would be right now, so... but he was imprisoned. Well, I guess, tell me again why I want to be reborn. He's just gonna... Yeah, okay, so I have other questions. So... Oh. I want to challenge you to combat. Yes, Arity says, hopping from one foot to another. We do! You are challenged! A fight scene. The hero will take many wounds and survive, or not. Well, I don't know. The construct's blade arms suddenly clench, whirring into a new configuration, with such speed that your eyes cannot follow. A moment ago they seemed sleek and clinical, like a surgeon's well-honed knife, and now they are jagged and cruel. Why would you ask this? Its voice is suddenly different, higher pitched and grating, like the scrape of a hacksaw across a rough metal surface. I think that might be his combat voice or something, because that's the thing that happened before. Well, the reason why I want this is actually because, well, I'm gonna give him his gift, which is forgetfulness, but also because if he's, you know, if he's meant to be self-destructed or something, I'm just, you know, that's gonna happen, and I don't think a machine like this would, it's basically a huge weapon, so if I can't keep it for myself, then I can't control it, so I can tell if it's gonna do good or not. So let's kill it, because that's how, you know, we do in video games. But I don't need to tell him that. To test myself, isn't that enough? Ah, the construct inclines its head. Such motives are known to me, as they were to all my seedling comrades. Our minds were made to crave a challenge, to test ourselves. As you say, warfare is ever fluid, ever shifting, and a soldier must likewise flow and shift to follow its course. No, I will not fight you. Faster than your eyes can follow, the blade arms swing back to their sleek, original shape, and the voice becomes hollow once more. In the eyes of the Bloom, you are no great predator. No purpose would be served by your death. Oh, I would kill you. Is it serious? Arites looks back and forth between you and the construct. All those spikes and blades and blood-making, flesh-cutting things, and he doesn't want to fight? Fight it anyway, says the thought. Well, I can fight it anyway, but I'm not gonna do that. Again, this game really likes doing this, where it actually forces me to attack, rather than have somebody else attack me because of my words. Leave me to my watch, and do not challenge me again. Well, as you wish. Farewell. A series of lights flash beneath the construct's faceplate, but it makes no audible reply. And there we go. So that's gonna be that for this episode, because we're running out of time. And I just want to say that the crash that happened before probably isn't because of the game. It's probably my outdated drivers or DirectX or something, because that same crash happens in Expeditions Viking. It's exactly the same. It's this one, right? And yeah, there it is. So yeah, it's the same exact crash. It's probably because of actually now what I did was I had Chrome open, and that probably is what was going on. So yeah, we'll see that in the next episode. It might not be. It probably is definitely a graphic card's crash. It's not actually the game that's crashing. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes on the next episode. But for now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.